Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. Week 2 is in the books now, guys, and before I start my previews here for Week 3, I thought I'd take some time to give my power rankings after Week 2. So without further ado, let's get right to the Week 2 power rankings here. Go from 32 to 1. In at number 32, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're 0-2. I think undoubtedly they have the worst team in the league from top to bottom. That roster just void of talent right now as they try to rebuild this thing. Number 31, I have the Browns. Look, the only saving grace for the Browns is right now is they have a defense that can relatively keep them in games, and they have some legitimate talent over there. But until they figure out the quarterback situation, until they figure out how to protect the quarterback and have some semblance of a running game, they come in at number 31 for me with a record of 0-2 as well. Number 30 is a surprise team for me to have this low this early in the year, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're 0-2. They've lost 2 very close games, but this team is just a wreck. All the outside stuff you're hearing about Josh Freeman, some of their on-field discipline is lacking. You just get the feeling with this team that they're going to be one of those teams that finds ways to lose close games rather than find ways to win them. And just all things considered with how bad Josh Freeman has been, with all the outside noise going on, I have the Buccaneers at number 30. At number 29, I have the Jets, who beat the Buccaneers in Week 1. The Jets are 1-1. Again, their defense looks pretty good, but their offense has a very long way to go. So they're the lowest ranked team with a win that I have here in the poll. At number 28, I have the Panthers at 0-2. Again, a team with some potential. They just need to open it up a little bit more on offense, get a little bit less conservative. And look, they're a pass interference penalty away from being 1-1. But nonetheless, I have them at number 28. At number 27, I have the Steelers. Again, a surprise team down this low. How long it's taking for them to get in sync, the Roethlisberger-Haley duo here, is truly surprising to me. They have no running game whatsoever. We'll see if they can establish that. I think the defense will figure it out. I think they're not playing that bad right now, but their offense has to get something going. And until then, could be a long season in Pittsburgh for the first time in a long time. Number 26, I have the Redskins. Look, a lot of focus on RG3. Should he start? Is he healthy? What about that defense? I mean, they've let up 1,000 yards the first 2 games. We'll see if both units can get better here in Week 3. Team number 25, I have the Bills. Very good win for the Bills, a young team at home, exciting win. Last play of the game, E.J. Manuel to Stevie Johnson to win it. Think this team has a long way to go. Let's see them on the road now. They go to the Jets next week. So, if they win that road game, possibly move up higher on the list. But right now, I think 25 is a good spot for them. Team number 24, I have a team that hasn't won yet in the Vikings. Very close game last week versus the Bears on the road. Their offense has struggled at times to put points on the board, settling for field goals a lot, in particular the last week against the Bears. Adrian Peterson's yet to really go off. Christian Ponder's shown some inconsistency. The defense has been, so-so. They've definitely let up some points here in the first 2 weeks, a significant amount of points actually. So I have the Vikings right now at number 24. At 23, I have the Raiders, and I think the Raiders are actually a pleasant surprise on this list to be all the way up at number 23. I know you say, oh, wow, team number 23, what's the big deal there? But look, if you said at the beginning of the year this team would be 23 after 2 weeks and be 1-1, I think their fans would take it. I like what I've seen from Pryor. I think that defense is better than people think. Number 22, I have the Titans. Another team that their defense is a lot better than you think. They showed it Week 1. They showed it in spurts. Week 2 against the Texans. They were a lot better against the Texans than that 30 points allowed indicates. We'll see if they can keep it going and build on it after a disappointing loss. They have San Diego coming in this week. Number 21, I have the Giants. They're the highest ranked winless team I have at number 21. Look, I know they've have had 10 turnovers in 2 games. They're not heading the right direction right now, but this is a team I think has the weapons. They need to get better on defense. I think you see Eli pressing because of the lack of a running game, the lack of maybe he perceives a good defense. But I think the Giants will be back, and there will be a team to be reckoned with this season, and they come in at number 21. At number 20, I have the Lions. 1-1, impressive win the first week, disappointing loss the second week, undisciplined the second week on the road, which is really where the focus is for me with this team. When they show some maturity, depending on see how healthy Reggie Bush comes back, This is a team I think could climb up the list, but right now, based on those factors, I think 20 is the perfect spot for them. 19 is the Cardinals. Look, they beat the Lions last week, so it makes sense to have the Cardinals just a notch ahead of the Lions. I don't think the Cardinals are necessarily the better team, but they're playing better right now. Thus, they're at number 19 here in the power rankings. Again, a team I think that'll put points on the board as long as they don't shoot themselves in the foot with turnovers. This is a team that could surprise some teams. Number 18, I have their NFC West, uh, you know, cohort in the Rams. The Rams beat the Cardinals in week 1. Rams had a rough game last week at Atlanta. That's a tough game, going to Atlanta after they lose the opener in Atlanta's home opener. And they sort of got it taken to them a little bit. But I like how they fought back, and I really love that defensive line, who I think is going to give Tony Romo fits this week down in Dallas. Number 17, the Colts. The Colts, 2 home games, 1-1. What weren't overly impressive in either of them. Even in the win they had in week 1 was not overly impressive. Look, they have to get better on the offensive line and keep Andrew Luck upright. And their defense has to get better. I mean, I worry about their defense in big spots and then putting too much consistently on Andrew Luck's shoulders. But hey, Andrew Luck is an absolute stud. Number 16, I have the Eagles. The Eagles coming off of what looks like an average win right now against Washington, now that we know just how bad their defense is. Disappointing loss at home against the Chargers. Any way you slice it, right? They let up 33 points to the Chargers. Their offense shot themselves in the foot at times, even though they put up very prolific numbers. And I think about the middle of the league is where Chip Kelly's team falls right now at 1-1. So you got the Eagles at number 16. Number 15, I have the Cowboys. The Cowboys, you might be surprised to see them this high, but I thought a good win against the Giants in the opener, and I think the Chiefs are a lot better than people think. The Cowboys played the Chiefs tough. That was a game that could have gone either way. Tony Romo didn't play great in the fourth quarter, but I got the Cowboys with the Rams coming in next week at number 15. Number 14, I have the Chargers, and I think this is a team that's another pleasant surprise. I was expecting to see the Chargers in the 20 to 30 range at this point in the season, but look, they're one bad quarter away against the Texans from being 2-0 and having 2 very good wins under their belt. Their offense is clicking. You're seeing a little bit of a rebirth of Phillip Rivers. Again, outside of that fourth quarter against the Texans, he's been great. That defense leaves a little bit to be desired, which makes me nervous. But right now, I like the Chargers at 1-1 at number 14. Now we get into some of the better teams, in my opinion. To me, there's a big difference between like the Chargers and my number 13 team, which is the Chiefs. Look, the Chiefs' plan is pretty simple. Ball control, don't turn the ball over on offense, and we have faith in our defense to make big plays and to stop the opponent. And I think in both games you saw so far, that's been the game plan, and they've really executed it to perfection, limiting turnovers and letting that defense really get after people. At number 12, I have the Dolphins. Again, I think a surprise team. 2 wins on the road. I debated whether to put the Dolphins even higher, but 2 wins on the road. The quarterback showing improvement, and their free agents they picked up on defense, Wheeler, Ellerby, Grimes, really paying dividends for the Dolphins here the first 2 weeks. At number 11, I have the Patriots. Look, just couldn't put the Dolphins ahead of the Patriots with the history in that division, how good the Patriots have been. Although they've been very unimpressive, and need to see some improvement out of the Patriots offense here the next couple of weeks to move them up. But the Patriots at 2-0 at number 11. And at number 10, I have the Ravens. The Ravens get this high on the list a lot due to reputation. They have not looked too good in their first 2 games. They pulled that game out last week at home against the Browns, certainly. Like to see some improvement, certainly, from the Ravens. They're a shaky number 10 at best. Number 9, I have the Bengals. The Bengals are 1-1. I thought they had a very tough schedule here to start the season. With the week 2 win at home versus division rival Pittsburgh. They play Green Bay next week, certainly. So a lot of tests here for this Bengals team. But I just like the overall talent on their roster and the fact that I think they're truly a well-balanced team versus both offense and defense. A solid playoff team in my eyes at number 9. Number 8, I had the Bears. Look, the Bears, 2 very shaky wins, 2 very close wins, but they're 2 wins nonetheless, guys. And, everyone complained how Cutler wasn't clutch. Now he's clutch, and everyone complains that the game shouldn't be this close. But the Bears have 2 wins in the division as they head into week 3 against the Steelers. And at number 7, I have the Falcons. I know this where the Falcons are, it may be a little bit controversial here because they haven't played. They didn't play particularly good the first week. I thought they played very well last week, considering they lost Steven Jackson. Roddy White was hampered, and I think a lot of the Rams. So they're week 2 opponents. So the Falcons this high. Remember, the Falcons were one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the league last year, and I think them versus the Dolphins on the road this week is one of the marquee matchups in the NFL, as we see a team on the rise trying to take down one of the best teams in the league, in my mind, in the Falcons. At number 6, I have the Saints. Look, the Saints beat the Falcons in week 1. The Saints come back with another divisional win, 2 divisional wins in 2 weeks, 2 close games, 2 games that could have gone either way. But you know what? The Saints won them. And the Saints won them without their offense playing through the roof. Their defense was a big part in these 2 wins, and I think that's where the focus is here, and a big reason why I have the Saints at number 6. At 5, I have the Texans. Again, 2 wins, 2 very close wins against teams I think were clearly better than. But again, I like what I see from DeAndre Hopkins. I like that defense eventually getting even better, and I have the Texans at number 5. At number 4 now, top 4, I have the Packers. Look, the Packers lose week 1 to the 49ers, who I think are a top-notch team, and then they completely obliterate the Redskins. Aaron Rodgers throws for 480 yards. James Starks goes over 100 on the ground. I love the Packers. I think they're a solid playoff team. I think they're clearly the best team in that division, even though they're 1-1, and you have the Bears in that division at 2-0. At number 3, I had the 49ers. And yeah, I know they weren't overly impressive on Sunday night. I wasn't expecting them to win that game. I think winning in Seattle is I don't want to say impossible, but pretty close to that at this point. I really like what I saw from the 49ers the first week against the Packers. I expect the 49ers to have a really good game this week against the Colts team that I think they match up beautifully against. So I have the 49ers at number 3. At number 2, I have their division rival, Seattle Seahawks. Look, if it wasn't for that, I didn't think they were overly impressive in week 1, which is why they're not number 1 here. But I think they've had the most impressive win of the year, beating the 49ers soundly and efficiently the way they did, because that's a tough 49ers team. And they beat them up pretty good on Sunday night. And at number 1, I have the Denver Broncos. Look, when you beat the last 2 Super Bowl winners and you do so impressively, and your offense is prolific, and your defense, who's without their best player, maybe one of the best 2 or 3 defensive players in the league, when a defense plays that good, and your offense is obviously very good to go along with it, the Broncos at 2-0, to me, are the clear-cut number 1 team here after 2 weeks. Peyton Manning with 10 touchdown passes in the first 2 weeks. That concludes the power rankings, guys. Let me know what you guys think. It's just sort of my inaugural power ranking. So let me know what you guys think. I know people love tearing these rankings apart. Feel free to, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. If it's your first time visiting my channel, guys, be sure to subscribe. I preview every game. I recap every game. I'm going to start doing these power rankings, and I just do NFL videos all week. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, and have a great night.